How you doing? It's Bill Stage, and I'm with Chris Carr, ladies and gentlemen, from Ghost Town Choir here in the Quad Cities. How are you, Chris?
Good, Bill. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. Hey, just for people who don't know, give us a little bit of background on the band.
Yeah, so I guess we're about 10 years old. Um, we're from Monmouth-ish, Illinois. Anybody knows where it's at? Uh, yeah, we've been me and the guitar player Brian Glasgow have been there the whole time. We've had a couple changes. Now we got Adam Stuart and Eric Christian. They've done the last two records with us, so
Gotcha.
and this is our third one.
Right on, right on. And what do you do in the band, Chris?
I am guitars and vocals.
Cool. Nice. So you guys, the I love the band name. Where did the band name come from?
I get asked that a lot. And it's just one of those things where you're kicking around ideas in a room with guys because you got a gig coming up and no name, and just match some words together. And that was what we came up with. I
Yeah.
wish I could tell you a story about it, but there isn't one.
Yeah, that's all right. I think it suits the imagery of the band anyway.
Thank you.
Is who's the artiste?
Visual?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's me.
right on, right on. So which came first, art or music?
Music. And
Yeah,
then I just started kind of messing with collages and photos and taking odd pictures and mixed them together.
yeah,
That's actually, I find that almost as entertaining as creating music these days. But
yeah. I mean, art is art. It comes from somewhere, and God only knows where it comes from. What do you do to get
definitely
yourself
occupied by,
inspired? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said it's something to occupy my wandering mind, for sure.
Yeah. Is that what where it comes from for you? Just you got to settle the brain so you focus on it, or what do you do to get
Yeah, pretty
inspired?
much. Uh, a lot of times, just like music, it's you just come across something, stumble upon it, and kind of build on it.
Yeah.
So it's never never something I sit down and plan to do. It's just so you find something you can. It's kind of nice, just like music, when you can. It just happens when you don't have to really think about it.
Yeah.
But just like writing a song, kind of the ones I really like, you don't really remember
Mhm.
how they came to you. But
Right.
yeah, same with art though. I really enjoy both of them.
Right on. Yeah. When did you first start doing music? When did you first start writing songs?
Uh, s- Probably somewhere around the time Nirvana happened.
Yeah.
I was playing drums, and then they came along and showed me that you can write songs with three chords,
Right.
because I was not a guitar virtuoso by any means.
Right. You didn't need to be.
No, but I guess I didn't pay attention to the Beatles. I guess they showed me that a long time ago. Showed all of us that.
Yeah. It is funny though. We're about the same age. How old are you, Chris?
Oh, that's a hard one to say. 47 now.
Yeesh. I know, man.
Yeah.
I'm 40s too. Yeah, so when Nirvana was happening, you were probably fresh out of high school and still into the music. What were your kind of influences growing up?
Yeah. A lot of people don't like this, but I'm still a Kiss Alive one guy.
I
I had
gotcha.
that stuck on my record player for 2 years, probably when I was a kid. I
Right.
think I had a couple different copies of it because I wore them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I got from my just being in my parents' car. Loved and I still do like the '70s rock, and I really like the vocal melodies of all that stuff.
Hmm.
It's wasn't so it was a lot based on melody rather than sort of an ego or a genre.
Yeah. And then so when you get into the Ghost Town Choir stuff, where are you pulling from?
A lot of it is uh, just strumming acoustic guitars and trying to hit on something you haven't hit on before. Maybe you come
Mhm.
across a chord that you didn't notice you don't use very often,
Right.
and then try to create vocal melodies around it. It's no formula really still,
Yeah.
thankfully.
The new album's called Starfeather. When did you start writing songs for this?
A couple of them have been around for several years, but probably half of them are pretty new. Probably a
Mhm.
little over a year ago. We started writing, or at least recording, about a year ago.
Yeah.
And being that we are older than what we used to be, getting time together is getting harder and harder to find.
Yeah.
You know how that is.
Does that make it hard to collaborate, or are you the kind of main songwriter and you bring it to the guys? How does your actual process
And
work?
that happens about half the time. I'll bring stuff, but we all write, and it's actually more fun when we can get together in a room and bang it out together. But yeah, I definitely do write songs and bring them to the table. But it's a lot more fun, I think, when you can do it together. But
Yeah.
nowadays with technology, you can fire it off an idea to one of them, and they can send it back to you, mix and match stuff.
Yeah.
So I got that kind of down, other than the Zoom thing that took me 2 weeks. But I can share
That's
audio files with you if you want.
audio's easier than visual, that's for sure.
So far as I can tell you, right.
So is that how most of this album was written? Audio files going back and forth and building on it?
This one, actually, the last one was a lot like that, but this
Mm,
one was a lot of in the room together, or at least some of us, at least a couple of us at a time.
yeah,
But we ended up, I think, mapping most of it out in person on this one.
gotcha. Yeah,
We
that's
obviously set ideas back and forth prior to that,
yeah,
but the final thing was all together, which is
yeah.
nice.
Something we definitely took for granted when we were able to all just jump in a room together.
No kidding, of all the times we could be getting together doing stuff and we
Yeah.
not supposed to.
Yep. Well, Chris, what's going on with this album? Are you do you have a specific song that you like that if you call it a single, is there one that stands out to you that you're directing people to?
Well, uh, right now, currently, there's a song called Delaware. We did a little quarantine video with and released it the other day, and
Mhm.
it's getting a really good response. So right now, I see that one seems to be the fan favorite, if you will.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And where do people find your stuff?
So right now, you can get it digitally anywhere, wherever you download, stream, steal, whatever,
Yeah.
uh, iTunes and all that stuff. We are working. We have CDs are on their way. We kind of put the physical stuff on hold for a little bit. We'd like to do vinyl as well, but
Mm,
without being able to get out and push it,
yeah.
it's sitting on a lot of products.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the process of getting a piece of vinyl? I love that idea.
Wow, yeah, you can do it. The same people that do CDs are now doing it, and
Okay.
I haven't actually. I've talked to a representative, and but I haven't gotten any farther than that after I heard the price tag. So
Oh
we
yeah.
kind of put it on pause for a minute, but still like
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. That, I mean, that's just one of those things that even 30 years down the road, you'll be able to hold that piece of vinyl and go, oh man, remember this, remember that. It was a moment
Yeah,
in time.
that's that's one thing. Yeah, the digital thing's pretty nice. I've gotten onto Spotify recently, and
Hmm.
it's great you can access stuff, but it's still pretty nice to pull out a record and
Yeah.
look at the artwork and have a big physical piece of uh, a
Yeah.
physical you
Just
can hold on
something you can, something that you're fearing you're going to break.
to. And
Some skin in the game when you're playing your
I had
music.
I think it was like an old '78 my grandparents gave me. It was an Elvis
Yeah.
vinyl. I was probably, I don't know, 10, 12. And I can't remember. They were made out of almost like glass, some of those or something. I don't know what they were actually made out of. But
Yeah.
I remember dropping it and it shattered and I was devastated. And I don't think they were too happy about it either. But
Yeah. They must
yeah,
have been made of something different back then, because all those times where you saw people in the movies take a piece and just smash it, you
yeah.
don't do that with the ones nowadays. They're more bendy.
Yeah, you throw a record at the wall because you're mad now, it's going to come back and hit you.
Ghost Town Choir, Chris, thank you so much for spending some time with me, man.
Thanks for having me and thanks for your patience. maybe we'll do it again sometime.
That sounds great, man. We'll of course link up all your social media and Spotify and where everybody can get that in the links below. But hopefully, very
Sure.
soon we'll be able to get out and see you guys perform sometime soon, man. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll get up there and up your direction and get weird.
I like it, Chris. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
All right.